can have whatever you want for dinner. Then I'm ice cream.
No.
To make your own dinner night.
No ice cream for make your own dinner night.
Well, I guess I already had ice cream.
Miss Alyssa. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my volume. I was just, can you, oh. There you go, now you're unmuted. I was just gonna say, when we're doing the parts where you're looking at everyone, if there's someone you want me to zoom in, just call their name and then I'll highlight them, because then that way you can correct them. So I've just been kind of picking, but if you see someone that you want to see, then
yeah, I keep
for
switching to gallery view, and then that's how I've been calling names from there. But yeah, we totally do that. This class is going to be a lot more like the first one we did today, so like a lot more improvisation.
For sure.
Yeah, but that works awesome. This is great.
Yeah, I was going to say it's nice to actually get to do corrections on some of them.
Totally. Hi, friends. You can unmute for like 1 second. I just want to say hi to you all. Hi, how are your lovely faces?
Good.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah.
Are you guys bored?
No.
No. I'm not bored.
Yeah, you can't fix that.
I don't even know who said that. Anyway, I'm missing you guys like crazy. I want to do a nice, weird class with you guys today, if that's okay. I've been taking a lot of like online contemporary and improvisation classes, and it's gotten my brain sparked and thinking in a whole bunch of new ways. So we're just going to do some weird stuff today. We're going to do a couple of things that involve body awareness. You should be able to do this in any size of space. As long as you can lay in the letter X on the ground, then you're good. So if you have enough space to just lay down, that's all you need. There won't be anything else that will like super big move. If you want to move more in your space, you 100% can, but you don't need tons of room today. But you do need to be prepared to lay on the ground, which I should have told you guys all before, because I know sometimes we're dancing in basements. So just be ready when we have this class weekly. I'll likely be making you guys do floor work. So if you need to dust before, just so you know, so you're not rolling around. I know I have a cat and all of Merlin's fur is all over me, and I swept before I started teaching today. It's great. So without further ado and my awkward introduction, it's just like we're actually in the studio right now. Wow, Marilla is laughing at me. We're gonna lay down. So I'm gonna get this yoga mat out of my way, and then we are going to take a lay down on the ground. And I'm gonna get us some music also. Okay, so we're gonna lay down on the floor. I'm gonna get my mat out of the way. But I want you guys to just lay down on your backs, okay? So take a lay down. Don't worry about if you can see me. You're not going to need to. Just lay down. And all that we're going to start to do, my friends, is we're just going to start to move our bodies on the floor and just move how it feels good. So like you can wave, you can kind of writhe, you can twist. We're not worrying about looking perfect or amazing. We're literally just thinking about moving into each part of the body, being where the body wants us to be, letting ourselves breathe. You can let your arms or legs come up off the floor. Just letting things go. And then you're gonna let your body make a letter X. So just letting yourself lay open. And we're used to this, we've done this before. So my palms are to the ceiling, my ankles are relaxed. And I invite you guys to take a couple of nice deep breaths with me. So inhale. Big exhale. Inhale. Big exhale. One more time. Inhale. exhale. And just start to kind of twinkle your fingers and your toes. So just thinking about all the ways you can move your fingers and toes. And we're gonna add our ankles and our wrists into that. Ankles and wrists, how you can move those body parts. Add the elbows and the knees. Add your hips and your shoulders. And this is when things start to get really fun, because we can start to lift our body off the ground in different kinds of ways. So when my hips and shoulders are involved, I can start to find different kinds of lifts as I'm going through this. And let's think about getting our head and our neck involved as well. And play with the idea of floating. So as if your limbs are kind of like floating through space in various ways. Playing with floats. And let's start to make that motion bigger. Keep going. I'm just coming to take a look at you guys. So making that motion bigger now, like waves floating, letting things reach up. Yes, beautiful. Find that floating quality. What does it feel like when something floats? Good. Slowly start to make your way onto your stomachs. So that same idea, I'm using this to get myself over onto my stomach. Still kind of waving, still floating, still reaching. And I'm gonna gather my arms at my sides, and I'm gonna think about pushing up into Cobra and down. And let's keep doing that. Push up into Cobra. You can move a little bit through this if you need to. And one more time, up to Cobra. And down. And we're gonna push to tabletop now. So same thing, moving through this position. Letting yourself bend and stretch and lift and curve. Beautiful. And we're gonna push back onto our toes. And we're gonna kind of hit this little gremlin position. And you're just gonna let yourself move through this gremlin spot. So this kind of like weird lungy position that's really nice on the hips. You can open them, you can twist them, you can rock back and forth them. Playing in this gremlin world. Now we're slowly gonna roll our body up to standing. So the first standing improv prompt I wanna give you guys is really weird and unique. And I think it's one that the more I play with it, the more I'm starting to understand it. But when it was first introduced to me, it kind of didn't make sense. So we're going to play with the idea of locks. So hold on one second. Sorry, I'm just trying to pause my music. Playing with the idea of locks. So like the idea that a couple of things have to come together before the lock can unlock. So like a good example of that might be your locks on your lockers at school or at dance. Like you either have like a combination one that you have to twist or one that you have to get the numbers. So like thinking about all those things that click into place and then what opens up from it. Does it make sense if I explain it like that? So you're thinking about sequences that you have to put together in order to unlock something else. And it sounds really vague, or maybe not vague, maybe it just sounds really complex in a way and like philosophical. But just try your best through it. I think the more that I think it'll be a lot like me, the more you work through the exercise, the more you'll be like, I get it. But I promise you the first time I did this, I was like, what? But it's really, really cool once it starts to come together. So we're gonna just move through locks, like we're undoing locks, okay? So here we go, find your space, move however you would like, and you're thinking about all of those pieces you have to put together and how it might unlock something. And this can come a lot from playing in your negative space as well. So we're thinking about all the things we have to do, the locks. Are they sharp and angular? Are they softer? Keep moving, keep going. And keep asking yourself, how many parts of your body can you get involved in each part of the lock? How do you make the locks click? Beautiful. And freeze. Freeze. Good. Keep going. I want you to think even more angular. So we're still getting a lot of beautiful like reaches, which will happen sometimes, and that's cool. But there's things that have to get put into place before we can let go. So I want to see your process to being able to let go. Okay, go ahead. Good. Beautiful. Keep going, keep putting those locks together. Good stuff. Okay, we're just gonna start bouncing now. So let's start to put a bounce into our bodies. And I don't want you to think of bouncing, but I want you to think about like letting any parts of the body where we have joints, so like elbows, shoulders, your neck, hips, anywhere where you bend, basically, we want to see if we can bounce into all of those spots, okay? So letting yourself bounce and feeling what it feels like to bounce into each of those spots. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Ask yourself what it feels like if you focus on more than one spot at one time. So like, I want my head and my knees to be what's really bouncing, or elbows and my hips are where the main bounces are. It's gonna feel strange, and that's okay. Don't worry about looking perfect. This is far from perfect, and that's okay. And so where we're gonna start to go from there is we're gonna start to add in curved lines. So we're still bouncing, but we're finding curved lines as we're going. So curved lines can come in any part of our body. and feeling what those curves feel like in different spots of the body. And I want you to start thinking about tempo. So like how fast and slow we can go. Keep going. So you have this idea of curves and bouncing. Keep going, keep going. Good. Find more curves. Let the curves come from different parts of your body. Anywhere where we can bend, curves can come from there. So ankles, your neck, your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, knees, hips. Good. Woo, there's a dance party happening. Now here's where things get really fun. Keep going, okay? Introducing tempo. I have a really challenging exercise for you. Keep going. Put 2 different tempos in your body. So like if your head is going in slow motion, but your hands are going as fast as they can. Or like whole parts of you are frozen and then something else is moving very quickly. So can you show 2 tempos in your body at the same time? And how drastic can you make those 2 tempos? Woo, yeah. Playing with those tempos, drawing lines, making those curves. Don't forget about curves. We're bouncing and curving. Good. Hey, I'm super proud. Okay, guys, can we just take a moment, come back to the camera, grab some water if you need to. Grab some water, come to the camera.
Like open.
Now, you guys know how important that I think reflection is. And I know that those were some new improvisation exercises today that we're not usually used to. But specifically what I want you to think about, and only one of us can answer at a time. So like if someone can raise their hand and then I can call on them, or like Amanda can spotlight you, we can work together that way. But I want you to think about, how did the 2 tempos at one time feel? Were you able to get it today? Is it something you have to work towards? Did it feel good? Did it feel strange? I know for me, with it being something new I've put into my vocabulary, it's something I have to think about a lot. And it's something that for me right now, I can only achieve in certain spots. So I can definitely move my head slow while moving my hand fast. That's one that I've been able to like get my body through, but my goal is to be able to do that in more spots of my body. So I'd love to hear what some of you guys have to say about the 2 tempos. So if someone wants to raise their hand, Miss Amanda can spotlight us. Perfect.
Hi.
Hey.
So I felt like it was easier to do my bottom half like more quick and then like my top half like slower. And I just found like when I tried to reverse it or did like different spots in my body, I found it a little bit harder. So I guess I have that to work towards.
Yeah, absolutely. Good, Lily, thank you. Who else wants to share? Who else? Don't be afraid. Yay, Marilla.
I thought it was actually really hard. Like, I think I need to work on it because it's hard to think about like all the things that you have to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just thought it was hard to kind of separate the parts of my body and move some parts faster than the other.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just hard for me, I think.
That's totally understandable. And Marilla, I think you really hit something on the head there. This task is one of accountability. And throughout my improvisation challenge videos, you might have heard me saying the word accountability a lot. This is a great example where we're juggling with 2 balls. So we know tempo and we know we can bounce and move fast or slow. But as soon as I throw in a 3rd ball, which is me saying now you have to put tempo in 2 spots, it gets really easy to drop 1 ball. It gets really easy. So our goal, we have to work to be accountable. Pick that ball back up and keep trying it, even though it feels really weird. It's weird and hard. Thank you for sharing that, Marilla. That was great. Does anybody else want to share? Anyone else? Don't be shy. Is that all of them, Amanda? Yeah.
I think we got all of them.
Okay. Okay, girls, can you please do me a favor and do splits left, right, and center real quick? Because obviously you have to do some leg stands before I let you guys go. It wouldn't be a Miss Alyssa class without our Y stands. Wonderful. Stretch those back knees. And if you were in my flexibility class today, I challenge you to try and do that. I see Marilla looking at the back hip right now. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. I challenge you to pull that back hip forward so your hips are square in your split. So we shouldn't be falling over onto our bums. Ribs shouldn't be sticking out. We should be able to pull up the core, and both hips should be directly in a line. It's hard, and it most likely means you will not be able to get down flat in your splits. Good. Okay, guys. You can switch sides. Wonderful. Stretch those back knees. You have to think of the back leg as much as you think of the front. Because you have to picture, girls, like if you were in a split right now, that back leg is your supporting leg. So if you're doing a leg pull and your supporting knee is bent, you've thrown the whole leg pull away, right? So you got to think about engaging through that back leg. We can't only pay attention to the one that's in the front. You've got this. I'm singing to you guys about your splits. It's like we're actually in class and I'm still super weird. I'm losing my mind. Like more than usual.
Yeah, I feel like I'm there with you.
Yay! You and I always have this discussion on Tuesdays. It's like real life Tuesdays. Okay, guys, centers. You can go into inverted, so you can put your chest on the floor. Good. Make sure your hips are in line with your ankles though. So your booties shouldn't be further forward than your ankles or you're not getting anything out of the stretch. So butts in line with your ankles. Marella, push back, darling. That's too easy where you are right now. Or it could just be that you have Gumby hips, but I'm pretty sure that you can push back a smidge. Like put your hands down on the floor. Yes. Do you feel that more? Yeah. Ew, how can you take your hands off the ground in that position? Oh my God, ow. Just broke my hips for me. Okay, ladies, come on out of there. I'm just gonna quickly talk about my expectations in a Y stand. So, I do not care how high you can get your leg if it means you have to stick your butt out. Yes, I don't wanna see your butts. I've adjudicated enough competitions and seen enough body parts I don't wanna see. I don't wanna voluntarily see your butts right now. So, when you're doing that Y stand, we wanna make sure, first off, strong first position. You're only as strong as your supporting leg. Arms are gonna stretch out, not here, stretched. Rotundoing, flipping the palm. As I plie, my knee is going towards the ceiling, not here. I'm not looking for you to grab this way. We're grabbing here. We're stretching up, lifting up through the rib cage. No leaning, no tilting to get the leg up there. If you are solid, you can take your second hand up into fifth position. If not, you can just hold it out beside you and that's a-okay. Do not pop the leg up. I'm looking for steady growth, okay? So let's all do our right side first. So strong first. Stretch those arms out. Stretch, 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 nice and long. Ton, do the right foot. Flip your palm. And plie, knee up. I don't want to see any butts. Good. Ooh, it's been a while since we've done some of these for some of us. That's okay. That bottom leg should not be moving. It should be solid as a rock. If you're feeling sturdy, you can take that top arm up. Good. Not bad, ladies. Okay, let's do the other side. Arms out, strong, stretching, stretching, stretching. And tendu. Flip that palm. Plie knee to the ceiling. The knee comes to you, not the other way around. And up you go. Bring that top arm up if you're feeling strong and sturdy. Alexis, my dear, you're wiggling a lot around there. I want you to think about getting as steady as you can first. And once you can't move that bottom foot at all, that's when you can grab one with your second hand. Okay, sweetie? You're still wiggling. Good stuff, dancers. Okay, okay. Can we please do the one where we tendu, let the leg go as high as it will on its own, and then we're grabbing to pull up? Yeah, I know that if you haven't been doing leg stands over the time that we've been at home, this one's gonna be really challenging right now. But we have this class every Tuesday now, so take this as this is the fire under your butts right now. Okay, however this goes, you're gonna practice this one every day until next Tuesday, and then we'll see how it goes then. Cool? Okay, so arms out, feet in first, letting the leg go as high as it will on its own, and then you're grabbing it. Go ahead. Don't stick those bums out for it. Ava, that was lovely, but you know what I'm gonna say, right? About your ribs? Yeah, you knew right away. No buts, no buts, no buts. This is the hilarious time that Zach just walked out of his office while I'm yelling, no buts, no buts, no buts at the computer. Good, okay, let's try that other side. So we've got a fire under our butts now because those were a little challenging today, and that's okay. We have a work towards, and I love it. Let's do the left side. Arms, no droopy arms. Yes, thank you. Go ahead. Good, Morella, you're leaning just ever so slightly. Yeah, thank you. Good, okay, ladies, relax. Come on up to the camera for me, would ya? So gals, when you're doing those, when you're practicing those, I know that when we're in class and doing those, I don't usually have you guys go on the bar, but hold yourselves accountable. If you need to hold a chair right now, then do it. Don't sacrifice the leg extension. If that bottom leg is wobbling, you have to go back and start again. It's the only way that you will actually get these tricks to a point where you're not going to hurt yourself. I would hate to see, like, behind the knee is a major injury that can happen for dancers. And a lot of the times it comes from popping the leg into an extension where it's not supposed to go. Then I can't remember which one it is right behind the knee, but it's the one that pops. I've seen a few dancers lose a year from that injury before. It's terrible. And so I want you guys to be learning to be steady and sturdy and rooted in that supporting leg. It's not impressive if we can get the leg up if the bottom leg is a piece of jello, right? So we want to get that nice, strong, rock hard leg, and then work the height of the top one. Yeah, it's not saying I know you guys have the flexibility to just put it up there and get it, but I want to make sure that you guys are able to dance for as long as you guys want to dance without getting hip replacements at age 25, which I know sounds dramatic, but I know a few dancers who have had to get them, and I'm sure Miss Amanda knows a lot of them too, who have had to get hip replacements or knee surgeries or like things on the ankle. I want like longevity for you guys. I want you to be able to dance for a long time. Okay, so safety first. Morella, what is that face?
Nothing.
Is it because I care about you guys?
No.
That was super fun though, and I was really happy to see all of your faces. I will be here the same time next week on Tuesday. Also Fridays, I have been doing, I'm doing a flexibility class from the Alexa Flexibility that I went and did back in December. So for some of you guys that have taken class with me and I was teaching you some of those, we're doing a full session of that on Fridays for a half hour. I think it's at 2:30 to 3, or 2 to 2:30. It's one of those times. If you check your emails, it's there. All you need is a yoga mat, a yoga brick or two, and a chair. So I hope that I'll see you guys on Friday, or I'll see you again next Tuesday. But I had a really nice time, and it's nice to see all your faces and know you're doing well. So cool, and thanks.
Thanks,
it.
Alyssa.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
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 Get out of here.